What's going on, YouTube family? This your man Pristine, back with another video. Here before you is the Microsoft Surface Duo, and this device is a device that for me has been highly anticipated. Those of you that follow my channel, you guys know that I'm extremely excited about the future of mobile smartphones and a lot of this folding technology that is really coming to fruition. I know that for years, these technologies have been talked about and debated over, and now they're here, and I think that they're getting better, and they're really starting to, in my opinion, make a dent, and they definitely have a place in the smartphone realm. Now, this is Microsoft's iteration of a folding device, and the thing that interests me the most about this particular device is Microsoft. They've been out of the game with smartphones for like the past 4 or 5 years, and I was sad to see them kind of go by the wayside. I was a fan of their mobile platform, but I understand, their app store just couldn't compete with the likes of the Google Play Store and the App Store on Apple iOS, and a lot of the applications that you can get on those two platforms, you simply just could not get on Microsoft devices, and that left a lot of people frustrated, and understandably so. I too have had some Microsoft devices and were extremely frustrated because a lot of the apps that I would have on my Android devices or iPhones, I just wasn't able to get on my Windows cell phones, even though there were other things about them that I absolutely loved. Well, the thing that's interesting about the Fold here is the Fold, that's next Friday. So stay tuned, keep it locked, because I'm gonna have an unboxing for that, and doing my review, my normal review spiel on the Fold 2. But this is Microsoft's first stab at a folding device, with the main point of emphasis being, productivity and being able to multitask and do more than one thing at once on 2 separate screens. But they also teamed up with Google on this one. And so you've got the full Google suite, you've got the Play Store. And so you literally have access to all of the applications that is, within the Google Play Store ecosystem on a Microsoft device. And that was important for Microsoft to do, to be able to move this product, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people haven't forgotten, the horror stories and the frustrations of them just wanting to get certain things on their devices, and they just couldn't, just because it just wasn't available. So I think that was a smart play on the hands of Microsoft. Now, the phone was just released today. I'm not sure exactly when you guys are going to see this video, but this video is being recorded at 10:20 rather, on September 10th, and the phone was released today. I went and picked it up earlier when I got off of work, and I just didn't have time to get to the unboxing until now. So when you see this video, it's probably going to be later dates than the 10th of September. But all day today, it's interesting. A lot of the top tier tech reviewers, if you will, and no disrespect to any of these cats, because I love and subscribe to them all, but some of these cats, they got real media type tendencies, and a lot of these guys, and I ain't gonna call no names, but a lot of them, they slammed plenty of devices in the past. They've slammed them, and I get my own hands on those devices, and the very reasons that they slammed are the reasons that I love the device, or they just majorly over exaggerated how bad a device really was, and it actually wasn't bad. It was actually really good. And so that's why I always tell you guys, before you take my word for it, or before you take any other reviewer's word for it, get the device in your hands for yourself and try it out, because no matter, I may hate it, but you may love it. You see what I'm saying? And so, I know a lot of the top tier, or reviewers, aka the media. Shout out to my man Jay Will. He ain't the media, but he was the one who originated that, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? Just referring to these cats as the media. So shout out to my man Jay Will. If you don't know who Jay Will is, man, look him up. He's doing big things with his channel. But pretty much all day today, the top tier reviewers, they get these devices early. They get review units and they have these phones, 2-3 weeks, sometimes more than that, before actual launch day. And they'll do a couple of reviews on them, what have you. And then today, since today is the actual street release date for this phone, YouTube was flooded with all these reviews from a lot of these, top tier reviewers, right? And although they had some positive things to say about it, most of them slammed it. Most of them had nothing. They had way more negative things to say about this device than positives. And I'm like, this device, it can't be that bad, and it was already on my radar. I was going to get it regardless. But I just think it's interesting because there's been several other devices where it was the same thing. And then it's like I get my hands on the device and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm hoping that be the case, with the Microsoft Surface Duo here. And especially given the price point, there better be something about this phone that wows me, or or we may have to do something else. Now I'm gonna go ahead and read the specs off real quick, just in typical pristine unboxing fashion. Timestamps will be available in the description box. If you don't want to hear me, blabble on and on about this device, you can just go ahead and get to what you want to see and let that be that. All right. So first off, we'll start with the price. Now, this is important because this device is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. This phone is $1,399.99. Now, if you get this phone through Best Buy right now and you start service or add a new line with AT&T, you get $100 off. So you can get this phone for $1299.99. I bought it unlocked. This is the unlocked variant. This phone is being sold in carriers. I believe it's being sold at AT&T and Verizon for sure. I'm not sure if Sprint is T-Mobile now. I know for a fact T-Mobile is not carrying this phone, although the unlocked variant is compatible with AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. I mean, so it is GSM and CDMA unlocked. With taxes, where I'm at, everything out the door came up to $1,542.79. So just know, ladies and gentlemen, that if you're going to buy this device outright, just know you're going to be coming out of a little chunk. And I understand they say you got to pay to play. So like my man Flossie says, yo, let's play. You know what I'm saying? That's the price for you. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, ooh, that's a hard pill to swallow. And I get it. I understand it. This device isn't going to be for everybody, not just because a lot of people can't afford it, but a lot of people just aren't going to want to pay that kind of money. And I understand, this is the first generation with this particular device. And a lot of people have said in their reviews, oh, wait till the next one come out where they're going to improve upon it and blah, blah. I'm like, yo, after that Essential phone and after how I seen that phone get progressively better with updates, I'm like, man, I ain't worried about what the media is talking about. All right. Now, we have, this is a foldable phone. We have 2 different displays, or you can consolidate it into one big display. So it's really trying to consolidate phone and tablet, similar to what the Galaxy Fold is doing, but it just does things a little differently than the Fold. All right. So we've got 2 single Pixel Sense Fusion 5.6-inch AMOLED displays with resolutions of 1800 by 1350, or when it's open, then it's a 8.1-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 2700 by 1800 pixel display. The PPI pixel density is 401. This phone is a lightweight. It's very thin. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen videos. If not, this phone only weighs 250 grams. It's covered in Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back for protection. And it's 9.9 millimeters in thickness. Now, another one of the gripes that people have, and I know I've said some stuff on Twitter. Those of you that follow me on Twitter, I said something to the effect that, hey, Microsoft charging the money that they're charging for this device, they better update them specs, because this is housing last year's specifications. Okay, we've got the Snapdragon 855 SoC chip. We've got 128 gigabytes of storage with no memory expansion. And so you can get this in 2 memory variants. You can get it at 128 gig, which is what this is, or you can get it in 256 gig model. And obviously the 256 gig model is going to be a little bit more cost. But just know that there is no memory expansion on this device. We've got 6 gigs of RAM, again, 128 gigs of onboard storage, and we're running Android 10 fresh out of the box. We got an octa-core CPU and an Adreno 640, which is all of 2019's flagship specifications. Now, is that a big deal? Does that mean that this phone is not going to perform? Absolutely not. I mean, I'm definitely not one of those guys that just because we're in 2020 and, the processor of 2020 is the Snapdragon 865 and all of its glory, I'm not going to be the guy that's just like, oh, well, God, well, the 855 is obsolete. No. I mean, you can get some really good deals on devices right now that have the Snapdragon 855, and they're going to perform just as good. A lot of times side by side, you can't really, tell a difference in performance unless you're really, looking for things and being just real nitpicky and particular about certain things. I'm not really concerned with the fact that this has last year's chipset in it. And I think that, just if you understand the vision that Microsoft has for this device and the direction in which it's trying to go, it may make a little bit more sense to you. Some of you may just be like, I don't give a damn what Microsoft is trying to convey to us. That price point is not justified. If that's how you feel, trust me, I feel you. I feel you wholeheartedly. But just, the techie in me just couldn't let this one pass me. You know what I'm saying? So here we are. Now, with the cameras, we've only got one camera. We've got an 11 megapixel camera on this device. And this device acts as the selfie camera and the main shooter. And I'll show you a little later on in the video when we test out the camera, how you just flip the device around and the device has a way of knowing its orientation, and it will, turn on, the camera based on the orientation in which it's in to help you take a selfie or, take an actual photo. All right. Now, as I mentioned, we've got a 11 megapixel sensor with an f2.0 aperture with a 1.0 micron pixels. We've got PDAF. We've got an 84-degree field of view, and that is optimized with AI for the front and the rear. We've got auto mode with low light, HDR, multi-frame photo capture, and dynamic range scene detection. We've got super resolution zoom, super zoom up to 7 times. We've got portrait mode with adjustable depth control, panorama, and burst mode. And then we can record at 4K at 30 to 60 frames per second. We've got 1080p recording at 30 or 60 frames per second. And we've got gyro, gyro-based digital video stabilization. Sorry, I was reading off my little cheat sheet here. Now, I know that, a lot of the top reviewers / media have slammed this camera. And again, I just think it just goes back to really truly understanding, the direction in which Microsoft is trying to go with this thing, or, the audience in which they're targeting with this thing. I mean, obviously this phone isn't going to be like your main photography device. And it's like, if that's what you're expecting, then you could be disappointed. I mean, now some of the photos that some of the people that have already reviewed this phone have shown, as they were sitting there talking about it's trash, I'm looking at the image in which they were referred to, and I'm like, well, damn, that looks good to me. It looks good as far as what my eyes can see. So, again, I think a lot of these things are just, matters of opinion, and that's why it's important to get the phone in your hand and try it out for yourself. Now, the battery, we've got a 3577 battery. So we've got a 3,577 milliamp hour battery. Microsoft is claiming that, this battery will last you all day. I mean, that definitely will, depend on how you use your device. We've got USB Type-C 3.1, and we've got an 18-watt fast charger that comes in the box here. Now, the colors that you can get is just this glacier white. That's the only color, and I'm cool with that. This thing looks very slick. It's sleek. Very attractive looking device. You are definitely going to turn heads with this device. In additional features, just to name a few, we've got Bluetooth 5.0. We've got a fingerprint sensor. We've got stylus support. So if you've got, you know, those of you that have Surface devices, if you got like Surface pins, you can use the Surface pin on your Surface Duo here to get some things done if that's what you need to do. We've got a fingerprint reader. Again, you know, just the folding technology and the dual screen multitasking. You know, just to name a few of the features that this phone slash tablet is housing. All right, so you know, those are the key specs that you need to know. Now let's go ahead and get this bad boy out the box, shall we? Now, just again, and box feels nice and heavy, feels premium. Microsoft Surface Duo there on the bottom. Here's our serial number, IMEI information, all that. Surface Duo Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. Yeah. All right, well, what that say? Okay, yeah, 128 gigabytes of storage, 6 gigs of RAM. At the top of the box, there's nothing, and then at the back, there's just some included within the box, all that information. All right, so let's see here. Oh, okay. All right, let's file that aside. And here we go. I think. Got something holding me up? Oh. Oh, come on. Okay, here we go. It's coming slowly. Oh, wow. Wow, this is really on here. Jeez. Okay, let's see here. All right, there we go. All right, so when you get the box off, you are greeted with your Surface Duo. Wow, okay. Wow. Yeah, this thing is super thin. It still does have a little weight to it. Wow. Love the way that feels. All right, let's go ahead and get the plastic off here. And first open. And ladies and gentlemen, here is the Surface Duo. Wow. Feels like it looks like it's got like an oleophobic coating. I mean, it's glass, but it doesn't feel slippery. Like, I feel like I can grip it, hold it in my hand without it slipping. Oh man, that hinge just feels amazing. Wow. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and power it up and set it aside and get into the rest of the inbox contents. All right, so here we go. We've got the Surface Duo bumper, specially designed to protect your device. And this is just a little bumper to help protect your device. This feels just like it's like a rubber TPU, if you will. Bumper. Okay. So I'll apply that in a little bit. All right, what do we have here? All right, so here's our SIM pin and some literature. What is that? Like a warranty information. What is this? Okay. Support from Microsoft Surface Duo. That's like a quick start guide. Okay. SIM pin. This is our 18-watt wall adapter, and you see that it has the fold-out prongs. So if you want to take that with you, you can fold that up and be nice and convenient for you. I like the way this was packaged. This is packaged in a very premium manner. And then here is our Type-C to Type-C charging cable. And that is everything that we've got in the box for the Microsoft Surface Duo. Now, let's get back to the device here, shall we? And this is what it looks like when you first power it on. It says hello. Let's get started and set up your Surface Duo. Okay, we'll do that in a little bit. Wow, okay, it makes a little noise when it's closed. Wow, this thing feels really, really good. Now, some people have said this thing is like super wide to where it's like barely manageable. I mean, here's my Note 20, and you can see, I mean, it's a little bit wider than the Note 20. You can see the Note 20. I mean, this thing, it's, even with it being dual screen, I mean, it's not that much thicker than the Note 20 as far as the length. I mean, obviously width-wise, it's a little bit thicker. And so I can understand, or, you know, people were saying that it's definitely a two-handed operation, which I feel it will be, but it's not, it doesn't feel like it'd be extremely cumbersome. Not to me, at least. It's not, like, people just blow things out of proportion and they nitpick over the stupidest things. I mean, now that I've got this in my hand, I mean, this is very easy to manage. This is very easy, and I've got small hands, and you can see, I mean, this is me really trying to grip this phone, but I can grip it with no problem at all, even with me having small hands. And even though it's Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back, again, it's not like that slippery glass. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a fingerprint magnet, of course, but God, it feels nice and sturdy and durable. Now, I wouldn't recommend dropping this thing, but yeah, it feels really good in the hand. Now, with it closed, obviously, Microsoft logo on the front. Here is our power and sleep button, volume rocker up and down. At the top of the device, it's nice and clean. On the side, we've got the hinge. On the bottom here, we've got nothing but our Type-C port, and you can just see just how thin this thing is. It's unbelievable. The back of it, it's nice and clean. Again, when you open up the device, you've got two 5.6-inch displays. And I know some people, you know, they've complained about, oh, well, the bezels are too big. We're in 2020. It's like, man, kill that noise, man. I mean, I understand it, but I mean, it's not really a big deal. I mean, bezels don't make or break a device. It's definitely not the tail of the tape. But you see, when you turn the device around, you just double tap on the other screen that's not being used, and then boom, it starts using that screen. And then when you turn it back around, double tap it, and then it goes back to that screen. That's pretty slick. And I know some people said that this phone has been extremely buggy, but I have been told that there's going to be a device that hits right out of the box, and so I should see that once I get everything connected to Wi-Fi. And Microsoft has come out and said that they're going to address a lot of the concerns that people are having and make sure that certain bugs and glitches get fixed. And so, you know, we'll see if that's the case. You know, we'll see if this thing gets the type of support that it needs. I hope that it does. Yeah, and then when you open this thing up, I mean, it's an 8.1-inch display. And wow, I mean, that's going to be that's going to be an experience as far as viewing content. And then the speaker, the loudspeaker, is just up here at the top. If you could see that in the glare, we don't have dual stereo speakers. Now that would definitely be something that would, you know, that I would like to have or that I would have liked to have seen on this device. But, I'm not going to, beat that into the ground because I'm wireless, man. I'm Bluetooth everything. And so any kind of media that I'm watching on any of my phones, I mean, I'm Bluetooth connected. I got my headphone. I've got several different pairs of Bluetooth headphones. So I'm not really too concerned with, the actual audio quality. I mean, people are saying that the speaker on this phone is trash. So, we'll see. I'll test it out. We'll see how it sounds. I mean, I think it'll definitely do the job. I mean, but like I said, I'm all wireless. I mean, so for me, that's not a determining factor. But I mean, for you guys that are watching this video, I mean, that may be a huge deal to you, the audio quality of the actual device. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for a minute and get all my information put up in this bad boy and get it to the desktop. And I'll be back with you in a minute. Hold it down. All right, y'all. So we are back in. We are at the desktop for the Microsoft Surface Duo. And, after playing with this device for a little bit, I like it. I mean, it's different. And really, I applaud Microsoft for this. Is the device perfect? Not by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a gutsy move. And, again, as we lean more towards, gaining more of a sense of comfort with folding devices, whether it be devices that fold like this or like the old school, clamshell flipping, type of folding capabilities, folding phones are coming back. You know what I'm saying? And I think that this is, I think what people need to understand is, I think the thing that made the Galaxy Fold so great, even with all of its flaws, was the fact that you got a company that's really trying to consolidate phone and tablet, right? And I feel like Microsoft with the Duo here is attempting to take that a bit of a step forward because, who doesn't know about Microsoft? Who doesn't know about Windows and the whole Windows suite? Who doesn't know about Word and Excel and PowerPoint and all those things, right? And so, creating this device, with basically the Microsoft OS running Android 10, in my mind, is genius. Man, I mean, I'm digging it, man. I mean, a lot of the things that people are griping about, for one, I haven't seen those issues on my unit. And I did get an update fresh out of the box. Microsoft is claiming that they're going to have monthly updates that this thing are going to get, if not more, just based on things that they may need to address with the device. I mean, so, I find reassurance with that. And personally, I've never had any bad experiences with any Windows products. You know what I'm saying? I mean, back before Windows decided to shut down their mobile phone division, the only issue was just the App Store, and it just wasn't as robust as the Google Play Store or the App Store on the iPhones, and you just couldn't download a lot of the apps that you would on an iPhone or Android device. That was the only issue. But aside from that, I mean, the performance, I never had a problem. Battery life was always solid. They had killer features. I mean, some of the cameras, man, that Nokia 1520, man, that joint was a monster. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's just one of the many Microsoft devices that I've had over the years before they finally decided to shut it down. I mean, so this, to me, this is exciting, right? This is exciting, man. So, never mind what the media is out there talking about. You know what I'm saying? Get the device in your hand. You know what I'm saying? And I'm more excited for this than I am the Fold 2, which comes out next week. So be sure to, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell because I'm going to have my unboxing for that coming up next week as soon as I get my hands on that joint. All right. Now, for one, I got to say, just this form factor is just, look at this thing, man. Look how thin this thing is. 250 grams total. This thing, the build quality on this device is second to none. This hardware is unmatched, ladies and gentlemen. It's unmatched. And just the ability to be able to fold this, like to just have a completely 360 like that is stupid. Now, we've seen this before. Shout out to the ZTE Axon M, right? But this is killing the Axon M, right? I mean, similar concept, but the Axon M, I think that device was ahead of its time, but I just wish that it would have gotten more support, and I don't believe that Microsoft will do with the Duo here what ZTE did with the Axon M. But the build quality on this phone is beautiful. Now I understand, in 2020, we've got 90 hertz displays, 120 hertz displays. Scrolling on this thing is not a problem at all whatsoever. My primary phone right now is the Note 20, which doesn't have the high refresh rate. And, I'm getting by just fine. I mean, so it's one of those features where, if you have it, it's cool. Things are nice and smooth, but it's not to make it seem like if a phone is running on 60 hertz that it's just not usable. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with the 60 hertz display. You swipe up. Okay, that's going to take you to your app drawer. And I haven't downloaded any of my applications on this device. And so we'll get into the settings and give you guys a clear understanding of how much data or how many gigs the pre-installed applications are actually taking up versus how much you actually have out of the box. Okay, so when you swipe up on the right side, same thing. And this is going to be, if you swipe hard to the right, this is says good evening. You can, if you want to set up stuff on your calendar, add events, add tasks, sticky notes right here, any kind of notes that you want to create, those will pop up right there. Family. This is let me see, send Microsoft Launcher to your family. Once they sign in, you'll be able to keep an eye on their location and app activity, so, for your kids and stuff like that. I mean, quick peek at what they're doing. So you'll always be in the know as to their whereabouts and what they're up to. Frequently used applications. I mean, the apps you use the most, I mean, that's where those will be. And again, I mean, just like a lot of the documents that I have on my computer, I mean, right when you turn the phone on, it's going to ask you to sign into the Google account. It's going to ask you to sign into your Microsoft account. Once you sign into your Microsoft account, if you've got one, everything that you've done on your computer under your Microsoft account, it pops up on this phone. Documents, spreadsheets, anything, it's right here in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's dope to me. All right. Now, to get out of that, we just swipe back to the left. Boom, that closes that out. Now, let's see. We've got the power button over here. Thought I had a double tap feature. I believe an update is going to get pushed, which will give it that feature. We've got the side mounted fingerprint sensor right there. Tap that, the phone gives you a little bit of a haptic response to let you know that you tapped it correctly. Boom, the phone just opens right up. We'll go ahead and exhibit that one more time for you. And you don't have to hit the power button to turn the screen on. I mean, you just tap it and boom, it just goes right into it. Okay, you'll hear a little click, you'll feel a little vibration. Boom, and it works 100% of the time. I know that some folks, have been slamming the haptic engine. To me, the haptic engine feels fine. It's like what are you expecting? I mean, the phone, it vibrates. Okay, yeah, there may be some devices out there it may vibrate a little stronger, a little weaker. I mean, I don't quite understand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it works the haptic engine works just fine. The vibration motor feels fine in the hand. I mean, in my personal opinion, that's not an issue. I just feel like a lot of people are just nitpicking over certain things. And I'm not saying that people aren't having real deal issues and dealing with glitches and stuff like that. But again, it's not to say that everybody's going to be dealing with those things. And, two, Microsoft has shown over the years that they're not the type of company to just leave things high and dry like that when they know that people are griping. They're really standing behind this product. And so I just don't see them not not taking care of something like that if that really is what, what's happening. And that's going to benefit everybody that has this device because it's just going to make a better experience, if you are having issues with yours. All right. Now, when you swipe down from the top, this is going to get you to your notification shade and your quick toggles. And so you can customize those again, just like you can on an Android device. I know that some people was like, oh, well, the quick toggle tray, you can't increase the size or decrease the size. And it's just always in this orientation. Like, really? Like, it's Android. I mean, what Android device? Somebody sound off in the comments. You know what I'm saying? For any Android device, y'all, where you scroll down from the top, it's not gonna, I don't know if maybe this is like the look that they're talking about. And so maybe people have an issue with it just being in this little box right here. But I'm like, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Like the phone it's different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is Windows launcher. So it's like, why does everyone feel as though the launcher is supposed to be the same across every single device? Or maybe people are disappointed because they're like, oh, well, they teamed up with Google. They got Google on board. So, it should be the Pixel launcher, and everything should just look like the Pixel. Well, no, this is Microsoft's device. This is Microsoft's device, people. Okay, they partnered up with Google because they know that one of the main reasons that caused their mobile division to go under and them to stop making phones is because they just didn't have the app support. So in order for people to really take this thing seriously based on the reasoning as to why they stopped making mobiles in the first place, this is a power move that they had to do. But don't get mad at the device just because it doesn't look exactly like your stock Android device. Are you serious? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like I can appreciate the launcher. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the different look, that doesn't bother me. Like people are gripe. It's like they're just finding anything to gripe about to slam this device. I mean, just man, just that media, that media hype, that media mumbo jumbo, man, that media jargon, that nonsense, right? Like, I mean, everybody's got personal preference. And they've got an opinion. Everybody likes what they like and they dislike what they dislike. And that's totally fine. If you don't like the way this looks, hey, you ain't got to rock with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's an Android device. I mean, or it's a Microsoft device running Android. I mean, so, you do have the Play Store. I mean, you can download another launcher and change it, I think. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, just little stuff like that. That's not a big deal to me. Look, I mean, swipe down. Just want to see my notifications. It doesn't look sloppy or anything like that. I mean, it doesn't. It's just a notification tray. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it just looks different. Why is that bad? Like, I'm just trying to understand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't understand because this phone is just getting scandalized and maligned right now, people. And I'm like, yo, this thing is dope. Like, some of the concerns, I mean, I understand they're legitimate. There's some bugs, there may be little glitches here and there. Things are stuttering a little bit. Maybe it's not moving as fluid as people think that it should be, or some people think that it should be a little bit more faster or it should have more RAM and blah, blah, blah. Look, people, man, look, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And I just feel like over time, it's going to continue to get better and better. After what I saw with the Essential phone, I'm convinced when companies listen and they stand firm behind their products, a lot of things can be fixed with software updates. And that phone got updated several times, and each update it just got better. For one, I wasn't having issues with my Essential phone out of the box, but when that phone came out, it got slammed, scandalized, and maligned. And everybody and their mamas, the media mainly, a lot of these so-called top tier tech reviewers, the ones who get the devices a month or 2-3 weeks before it comes out. And then on launch day, they got a full review out, and you know what I'm saying? And come on, man, and no disrespect to them. They doing what they do. But you guys got to understand what they're talking about is a matter of opinion. And if they are experiencing problems with their device, it's not to say that everybody's going to have experiences with their devices. Here's one way to look at it. When they get those devices, those are pre-production units. You know what I'm saying? They're not dealing with a finished product. And a lot of times, those guys, they have to go and buy one of their own just to be able to test out the actual finished product. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in your memory bank. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to some of these cats who had this phone like a week or two or a month before it came out, who've been using it and they got the review out already and they ain't got nothing but negative things to say about it. Well, it's like you're dealing with a pre-production unit. They could be still, who's to say when, where Microsoft draws the line as far as a time frame to work out the kinks before the actual street release. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, just all this mumbo jumbo. Oh man, it ain't ready. And it was rushed. And man, kill all that, man. They've been working on this thing for a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's the first gen. You can wait a year or 2 or 3 if you want to, but I'm a tech guy. I'm going to enjoy this tech when it's out off top, which is why it's right here. You know what I'm saying? So, So real quick, we'll bounce into the settings real quick. I don't mean to, talk you guys' ear off, but I'm just I'm passionate with this tech, man. Cause this phone ain't getting no love right now. No love. And I don't want to be like the dark horse. I'm not trying to say that I'm the guy. Well, the only reason why I'm saying what I'm saying about this device is because everybody and their mama slamming it. And so I just want to be the one that's indifferent with everybody and say something positive about it, even though I may possibly be experiencing the same thing that other people are experiencing, as to why I would, say what they're saying about the device. No, it ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? If the device is having problems, or similar issues that other people are having, I would state that, my device is laggy or buggy too, or whatever they're saying, right? Okay, so, just want to get that understood real quick. This is genuinely what I think and feel about this device, my opinion. All right. Now, we will pop off into the settings. And again, the whole purpose of this device is multitasking. So you're always going to have, a situation like this where if you click into an app, then the app is going to pop up on one screen and then the other screen is going to be available for you to do whatever you want to do. Now, if you're not feeling that, then you can just scroll up, move it to the middle, and you can have all your settings right here. Now look at this. So when the settings menu was over here and the blank screen was over here, now, I understand, the creases in the middle, that crease does not bother me. That's another thing that people are making a big deal. Oh my God, it's just the crease in the middle and it's just gonna ruin the whole experience for people. Oh my God. You get Justin Timberlake home and cry me a river, man. Cry me a river, reviewers. Cry me a river, media. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You're killing me with this. You see what I just did? So now we're in the settings. So now, since the phone just really wants you to take advantage of dual screens, when you move settings to the middle, like you just saw me do, then boom, your settings are going to be on the left. But then the actual contents of the settings are right here on the right. So it ain't like you got to, device. You see this? Come on, man. You see this? Usually on any other conventional phone, say Samsung, this is my Note 20, pop into the settings. You see what I'm saying? Like if I want to go into connections, it has to take me to a whole nother screen. You see the difference? If I pop on sounds and vibration, cool, yeah, it has to take me to a whole nother screen, and it's pretty instantaneous, but still, here, you got 2 displays. So you got whatever the setting is right here on the left, and then you got the contents of the setting on the right. Like, how dope is that? It's just a different way of doing things, people. Are you guys so afraid of change or just so not willing to accept change to where it's like everything just has to be the conventional smartphone that you've gotten used to? And I think that's one of the main reasons why people are really hating on this device, because it's different. It's something new. You know what I'm saying? It's out of the norm. It's out of your element. So it takes you out of your element. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit more of a learning curve. Everybody just wants shit to be simple. And, oh man, I just want everything to be the same and plain Jane. And nah, this is different. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a learning curve that's going to be involved. My bad. I didn't mean to cuss. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, man, I'm passionate with this tech, man. I love to see innovation. This is innovation. So everybody ranting and raving just because it's not like it's not like the Note 20. It ain't got the refresh rate. It ain't got this. It ain't got wireless charging. It ain't got it ain't got an IP rating. Well, it ain't for that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling people, understand what this device is, what it's for, and who it's for. It ain't supposed to have all that stuff, or it would have it. And frankly, I think if it did have it, it may take away what the true objective is for the device in the first place. Now, now if it had, wireless charging, that'd be cool. But it's not a necessity. You know what I'm saying? Battery life is, man, what? I'm at 74% battery life. I took this thing to work with me and connected it to Wi-Fi. I've been playing with this thing all day. You know what I'm saying? I'm at 74% battery life. It comes with an 18-watt charger in the box. So if you need to top up, boom, it's going to do it in not that much time. So who needs wireless charging? You know what I'm saying? It's like people are talking about what this thing doesn't have, but those things aren't necessities. Those things aren't making or breaking the actual user experience with this thing, man. It's not hindering the performance in any way, shape, or form. So, it's crazy to me, but I'm digging this. Like, you got your settings here on the left, and then what the contents of the settings are on the right. Like, I'm a big fan of that. And so just real quick, in typical Android fashion, you've got your network and internet, you've got connected devices, apps and notifications, sound, display. Now, look, if we go into display, you got brightness level, night light, home screen, customize your home screen, and feed. And so if you click on that, then that's going to take you to okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what it did. Okay. I'm still getting used to it, y'all, myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still trying to learn it. But yeah, this is just you're gonna be able to customize your home screen. So I believe when you're on the home screen, if you long press on the screen, then it will take you to this as well. You can like change your wallpaper or change your home screen settings. This is that screen, and this is just how you get to that through the settings. Okay. But you've got your feed. You can edit that and pretty much dictate what you want to have on your feed. Search, app drawer. Change the layout of your apps. Notification badges, show page indicators, lock home screen, add new apps to home screen. Yeah, so, lock home screen, add new apps to home screen, about Microsoft Launcher. If you want to find out more information about that, you can click on that and it will help you with that. All right, so again, under display, we've got brightness level, night light, home screen, dark theme, which, that's on. If you turn that off, then boom, that's just what it looks like right there. But of course, all black everything, no racist. You know what I'm saying? But that dark theme it just sets it off. Screen timeout, auto screen rotate, colors. Now, if we go to colors, you just have sRGB, and vivid. By default, it's on vivid out of the box. I like that. Colors are a little oversaturated a bit. I don't mind that. You know what I'm saying? I like my colors to pop, and that's just what the business is. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to go up out of that. All right. Font size, display size, adaptive brightness, lock screen display. And that's what it is in display. All right. Wallpaper, security, privacy, location, accessibility, digital well-being, and parental controls, accounts, Google, Microsoft. When you click on Microsoft, then this is just going to take you to, your email and just, things that you got synced that you want, just everything under your Microsoft account. You can kind of customize all that stuff and, just kind of, decide how you want it to show up on the device here. All right. System, battery, storage, about, and tips and support. So if we go into system, see what kind of gestures we got here. Okay, so we got jump to camera. And what that is just hitting the power button 2 quick times, and that's going to take you to your camera. Okay. We got system navigation. And so this is going to learn you how to navigate the device because there are no buttons. Everything is touch gestures. And that's another thing that I've been seeing a lot of people griping about in these reviews. They're talking about how finicky the swipe gestures are. And I'm like, again, it's different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so, the phone, it has different orientations and the swipe gestures are going to be different based on how you're holding the device. And so, again, I'm not saying that people aren't having issues, but I'm like, take your time and get to learn your device. You know what I'm saying? Just because we've been using swipe gestures on all our other phones is not to say that they're going to be the exact same on your Surface Duo, because this is something different. And so again, it's like people may not, they just may be ignorant to how to really use the swipe gestures. And since they're having a hard time figuring it out and it's not as simplistic as their other main phone, then it's just like, oh, well, it's a glitch. This thing is stupid. I don't want to mess with it anymore. Hissy fitting over ignorance. It's like, man, learn your device, man. Read the instructions. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're not a smart person if you have to break out the directions or you have to read the tutorials. That's what they're for. To help teach you how to use your device so you can get optimal performance out of that. The more you know how they work, the more you know, the better, right? You know what I'm saying? I just spent $1,500 on this joint. You think I'm not going to want to learn everything there is to know about it? There's going to be things about this device that I'm not going to understand. And I'm going to have to get into the tutorials, get into the directions, the quick start guide, look some stuff up on YouTube or on the internet, whatever. I'm trying to really learn this thing. You know what I'm saying? And I got to do that off top just period, because I can't put together a full honest review if I don't do those things. So, man, get to know your device. Okay. But if the swipe gestures, I ain't heard nobody say nothing about this. Everybody's talking about the swiping and it's a problem and this and that and da. Well, I mean, you do know that. I mean, it's an Android device. You can just elect to have 3-button navigation. I mean, there's your 3-button navigation right there, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? You guys are killing me, man. The media, man. The media, you guys are killing me. You got 3-button navigation right there. If you're having issues with your gesture navigation, because either your phone is defective or it's glitching in some way, shape, or form, or you're just being too impatient to actually learn how to use the gestures, then man, just turn on 3-button navigation. Sounds like a problem solver to me. I heard not one person in not one of these videos that's been slamming this device say nothing about the 3-button navigation. Not one. But see, people, oh man, Pristine, why your videos so long, dog? Because it's like I'm trying to cover stuff like this, Playboy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to cover stuff like this. Basic stuff. Common sense stuff. Not trying to be insulting, but it seems like now in 2020, man, a lot of people was walking around here functioning without a lick of common sense. It's like, come on, people. 3-button navigation right there, man. All right. Now I'm gonna go back to the gestures because I ain't been having no problem with the gestures. All right. But I just want to show that you do have 3-button navigation if you run into difficulty with the gestures. and whatever those difficulties may be. All right. Now, I just wanted to get in that just to see, what gestures we have. Prevent ringing. Well, what do we do? What do we do? If the phone is ringing and it looks like we just press the power and the volume key at the same time and it puts the phone in vibrate. And you can choose right here when you perform that action, if you want the phone to vibrate and it's on vibrate by default, which means you're just cutting the ringer off. And, whenever you get a phone call or notification, the phone's just going to vibrate. Or you can just hit mute and it just won't do anything. All right. So that's another gesture. And then you've got double tap to dismiss. Okay. Yeah. Well, I want that on. So I'm assuming because it doesn't give like a little breakdown right there, double tap to dismiss is, if you're trying to get out of an app or something like that, then you just double tap and it just gets rid of it. Okay. Let's see. All right. And so we'll just pop into About real quick. And, I don't have my SIM card in here or anything like that, but we'll just go to, where is software information? We've got Android 10 on board. There's Android 10, people. Yeah. This phone should get Android 11. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to be. I know that I got Android 11 the day that they launched it the other day on my Pixel 4a. Again, stay tuned because I got the dedicated camera review and the pristine review coming for that. You don't want to miss that. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, that Pixel 4a is a little beast. It's a little beast. I'm loving that phone. I just didn't think that I was going to like that phone as much as I am. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, we got Android 11 there. I know that a lot of people feel as though Android 11 would correct some of the issues that they've been having with their Surface Duo. And, they could be right about that. So we'll just, we'll wait and see what Microsoft plans on doing as far as that is concerned. I mean, and how soon we actually get that update, if in fact it is going to come to the Surface Duo. But yeah, just to confirm, we have Android 10 by default fresh out of the box. All right. So yeah, so those are just some of the main features and functions. And just real quick, let's get into the performance, because I know that some people, and I've made comments on Twitter about this. So I said things like, oh well, with the price that Microsoft is charging for this thing, I hope that they updated the specs, because you can't charge $1,500 for last year's specifications. And I still stand by that. But again, I'm looking at it like, just because it has last year's specs, it's not to say that the phone isn't going to be a performer. Okay. Because there are lots of phones that, people still have that are last year from 2019. We got to understand, people, 2019 was not that long ago. You know what I'm saying? 2019 was not that long ago. I mean, so all this business of, last year's, specs, kill all that noise, man. Is the phone still going to do what you needed to do in a timely fashion? Absolutely. All right. Now, let's pop to Spotify real quick. Okay. That's Spotify. And, if I don't want Spotify on the right side, but I want it on the left, I can just move it over here to the left. Or if I just want the full screen to be Spotify, I can just move it to the middle and boom, there's Spotify. Right? And like I said, me, ladies and gentlemen, I am not bothered at all in the least bit by the little crease down the middle. And so people are like, oh, well, again, that's going to interfere with your viewing experience. It's not for me. I mean, this ain't my first go around with foldable devices. You know what I'm saying? I got the Galaxy Fold. I got the Z Flip. You know what I'm saying? I got the Axon M. I'm used to seeing a crease, and it doesn't bother me. And the fact that this is two different displays, the crease on this phone may be a bit more prevalent, but to me, it's not. These are two 5.6 inch AMOLED displays. When open like this is an 8.1 inch canvas. AMOLED. Both of them. You see where I'm going with this? You know what I'm saying? Content viewing on this phone is going to be absolutely fantastic. That's just what is going to be fantastic. You know? So look, I'm good with this. And then when you're done, you just swipe it away. Now, let's see. Let's go to now. See, I forgot these little things that you can create, but you can pair applications. What you talking about, Pristine? Well, you see here how you got these little app pairs, and there's two of them, right? When you hit those, and you can customize these to your liking, you can create two app pairs. So if there's any two applications that you want to launch at the same time, you can create these little pairs. And when you click on it, it's going to open one app on one side and the other app on the other side. Okay, so like right here, and this is just by default, you got YouTube and Microsoft News. So while you're watching a video, and there's my man Jay Will. He got the duo right there. First impressions and detailed look. Man, I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy right there, man. Shout out to my man Jay Will. You know what I'm saying? I see he's on it as well. But I mean, if I want to browse YouTube and while I'm watching a video, take a peek over here at some of the news that's going on in the world on Microsoft News, I can do that. All right, I can do that. Now, if I want to watch my man Jay Will's video on his first initial thoughts and impressions on the Microsoft Surface Duo, I can just long press, move it to the middle, and boom, here's YouTube. Full screen. Okay. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, that's crazy to me. And when you're done, you just swipe them both away. Right? If you don't want to use the dual screen, you just simply just fold it up. And depending on which side you want things to show up on, that's on you. But I mean, if you want to hold it in the other orientation, you just double tap on the back and boom. There it is. If you want it in this orientation, you just double tap on it. Oh, well, locked it. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, what's happening? Oh, it's okay. There we go. Got flipped around. Okay, there we go. Again, still learning the phone, still learning it. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so if you just want to use it in one orientation, you can totally close the device up and boom, there you have it. Now, people have complained about how wide this phone is. That's not a problem for me. Like, yeah, is the phone wide? Yeah. Like, look at, got my S20 or my Note 20. Yeah, it's wider than my Note 20. That's not a big deal to me. Just the overall feel of it in my hand. People are talking about, the keyboard. Like, well, when it's in this particular orientation, if you want to compose a text, then let's see. My T-Mobile. I mean, look at the... Really? Look, I mean, look, what is that keyboard not sufficient? It's like, what in the hell are people talking about, man? I mean, look at this keyboard. You know what I'm saying? And it just sits perfect in the hand. The thing is so thin and lightweight. I mean, but the keys are bigger. So it's like with that wider canvas, it gives you it gives you a little bit more space to do what you need to do. I mean, some keyboards, I mean, you got these phones, I got these 21:9 aspect ratios. I like those devices, but sometimes things can feel a little bit cramped. I feel like I can be more efficient with my typing on a wider canvas. Well, this offers that. You know what I mean? Now, if I want to shoot a text and it's open, then if I've got the messaging app over here, then the QWERTY keyboard is going to be more so to the right, because given the orientation in which I'm holding the device, it's assuming that, okay, I'm going to want to, and the fact that I've got messages open on the right side, the keyboard is going to veer more toward the right, which is going to be more of a one-handed operation with my right thumb. Okay, well, if my messaging app is on the left, come on. If it's on the left, then the keyboard is going to be on the left side. Like, that's just ergonomics, people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that to me, that's thoughtfulness on Microsoft's behalf. And then, if you want to just have it in the middle, you could do that too. And when you click on that, then, oh, well, let's see. You make it like full screen. Nah. Well, in that case, I thought that there was a way that you would have like the keyboard, but that would be very difficult to, that's awkward. So, I'm good with the options that we're being given as far as, composing text messages and things of that nature. Okay. So, again, open up Spotify, open up YouTube. Let's see. Let's go to, didn't mean to do that. All right. Go to YouTube Music. Okay, so I can have that open right here. Have Spotify open over there. If I'm just really trying to get engulfed in some music, I can have two music applications open at the same time. Get rid of them. And then if you want to go to all your recents, no matter what screen you pulled up those applications, you can just swipe up and hold, and it's going to bring up everything that you opened. Okay. And if you want to go back to it, simply just tap on it. Okay. And if you want to get rid of it, just swipe it away. Plain and simple. All right. So, navigating this device, as you can see, ladies, and you see what I'm doing. People are complaining about major problems with gesture navigation. And so again, for those people that are having those issues, my apologies. And I just hope that you can stay patient and just wait for the updates to come through, because I'm sure Microsoft are going to patch those things up if it knows that there's a problem. But as you can see, just with the exception of the whole newness of the situation and just still trying to learn the device, yeah, a couple little hiccups here and there. But for the most part, I'm able to do what I know how to do. It's like the more familiar I become with the device, then things have become easier, and I have a better understanding of, where to swipe or how to swipe, if I just want to use gestures. Okay. So now another thing that this phone is just getting completely just slammed is the camera here. And it's got one camera. What's up, y'all? It's got an 11 megapixel camera. And because the phone has the ability to, fold, it's got a 360 hinge. The 11 megapixel camera is your selfie camera and your primary sensor. Now, the quality of what I'm looking at right now, people have said that the camera on this thing is just completely horrible. Just terrible. And here, look, I'm going to take a quick little selfie. And again, I'm in a well-lit environment. I'm in my office space. So that picture, ladies and gentlemen, the color reproduction, the color accuracy, the detail. I'm not expecting for this phone to have pixel camera quality. If it does, great. Because I understand, with the price that you're paying for this device, you want top of the line everything. But I mean, everybody is just stating that this camera is trash. And I'm like, man, look at this photo that I took at work earlier, man. And this will be in the dedicated camera review. So, you'll get a closer look. I mean, looking at it through the lens of my Sony 4K cam here that I'm recording with does not do these pictures justice. It just doesn't. Okay. Now, let's see. So let's go out of that. And again, I'm still learning this camera myself. So, the different modes that we've got slow-mo, video, photo, portrait, and panorama. Okay, we got the 3 little dots up here at the top. These are obviously the settings. And so we've got photo size. We've got 4x3, 16x9x9, or 1x1x7, 11 megapixel for the 4x3. It's 9.1 megapixel by the 16x9, and then 1x1 megapixel. It's 8 megapixel for the 1x1. I think I'm saying that correctly. So you've got some options there. HDR photo. Turn that on. Okay. Scan QR codes. Video size. By default, it's at 1080p at 60 frames per second. But you've got 1080p at 30, 1080p at 60. You got 4K at 30 and 4K at 60. So you see that. All right. Video stabilization. That's on. Video format. No, I want video stabilization on. Go to video format. Again, I'm not, a camera guy, so I'm not even going to sit there and try to break down what that is. I don't know what that is. And so things that I'm ignorant to, I try not to, talk about them. So, those of you guys that understand what that is, hey, I'll just put it up there so that you do have the option to get that popping if that's what you want to do, or make whatever that change is. HDR video. We'll leave that off for now. You got the grid 3x3, shutter sound, location tags, reset settings, and about camera. Okay. So now when you want to utilize, and I've only taken a selfie with this camera, so I haven't taken just a regular picture. So I believe while the camera app is open, when you turn the phone around, okay, hold up. Okay, so real quick. Okay, so when you want, in order to use the primary camera to just take a regular photo, you just simply turn the phone around, and the phone recognizes the orientation in which it's in, and then you're able to take a photo. So let me see. I'll just take a quick photo real quick. Okay, so I just took a photo of my little entertainment center section right there. Like, that's a clean photo. That's exactly what that looks like. I mean, and again, I'm in a well-lit area. I mean, so, I expect for the photos to be clean. As this one, just this photo, this selfie just blows my mind, man. And people are talking about the camera is weak. I mean, it's different. And it takes some getting used to. Now the device, again, it's got a 360 hinge. And so you literally have the ability to view content with this phone however you want to. I mean, you can close it and use either one of the screens. You can have it set up like this, like a laptop, if you want to do it that way. And it's like, when you're composing a message, your keyboard would be here, and then the message in which you're composing, you can see all the letters and stuff up there. You can watch content that way. And you can see the hinge is really strong, and you can kind of bend it any way you want to, really. Or if you want to flip it backwards and you want to watch content, this is considered tint mode. And, you can watch content like this. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Microsoft Surface Duo. My first initial thoughts and impressions. Again, I'm really going to spend some time with this phone because I really want to learn it to make sure that I'm really maximizing, my ability to be able to use this device in the manner in which it's supposed to be used. And it's different. So there's going to be a bit of a learning curve. But so far, I'm loving it. Kudos to Microsoft for, pushing. So that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen, for the first initial thoughts and impressions for the new Microsoft Surface Duo. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to expose yourself to tons of more videos that I've done like this one. Be sure to hit that notifications bell because I've got so much more content to come. I've got the dedicated camera review, followed with the full pristine review, and a whole lot of other reviews coming up for phones that are coming down the pipeline. So make sure you keep it locked here at Pristine Mobile Tech. Much love to all of my subscribers, those of you that have been rocking with me for a while. I love and appreciate you guys. Those of you that are newcomers to my channel, I'm glad that you saw some of my content and it captivated you enough to warrant your subscription. Much appreciation for that. The main purpose for this is to get my hands on the latest smartphones, do these reviews to help you guys make an informed decision on what your next smartphone purchase may be. So, that's what I do this for. So much love again to all you guys, and thanks for tuning in. And you already know, timestamps are in the description. And please stay safe, get spiritually fit, and keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives. This is the new Microsoft Surface Duo. I'm your man Pristine, bringing you the content. We out.